The room is silent. Mary and George are on opposite sides of the room again after another blowout argument. Mary is heartbroken and she cannot imagine how to save her marriage. She doesn't know how to tell George what she needs because he doesn't seem to care, doesn't seem to want to listen, and she's convinced that he doesn't love her. And George, all he wants to do is make her happy. He doesn't know how to win with her. And it breaks his heart to see her so sad, and it breaks his heart to see and hear her say that she wants to leave. Have you ever experienced a moment like that? Would you like to have fewer moments like that in your life? Yeah. My name is Kimi Avary, and welcome to Designing Sexy Communication. I'm a relationship navigation specialist, and I've been studying love and relationships my entire life. I'm married to a great guy named Art, and I'm 50 years old. I have 2 stepkids, and we get to travel the world doing amazing things. And I get to travel the world and do my work coaching people, men and women, to have great relationships. And it wasn't always like that. There were years when I couldn't figure out how to make a relationship work. I dated a lot of great men. I studied communications. I'm an NLP health certified master practitioner and trainer. I've got a master's in counseling psychology and a bachelor's in family studies, and I still couldn't make a relationship work. I watched 2 men I was deeply in love with marry other women. I was their buddy, and I was really confused. And then when I turned 36, I started studying about men from a masculine perspective. And it changed everything for me, literally everything. It rewrote my entire history. And I learned that men won't stick around if they're not needed. I had no idea. So all the times, I actually had a t-shirt that my brothers had given me. It said, "A woman needs a man like a fish needs a bicycle." And we thought it was hilarious. And all the guys who said to me that I was dating, "Oh, Kimi, I need you." I said, "You don't need me. You're a strong man. You don't need me. Will you want to be with me?" And then they went off to be with somebody else. And I was alone, and I was really confused. I also learned that men love to provide and protect the people that they claim are theirs. Really? The first day I heard that, I had to pick my jaw up off the floor. I'd been conditioned to be a strong, powerful woman. I went to girls' boarding school and women's college. I wasn't supposed to need anybody. I was supposed to have it all together, and it wasn't working. So today I'm going to talk about what I work with my clients on. I have programs that I help men and women to understand each other better, and that's what I'm going to bring you today. And there are ways that we communicate that are not sexy, and then there are ways that we communicate that are sexy. One of the things that happens is that women typically look at men as hairier, misbehaving versions of ourselves. They're either doing things we would never do, or not doing the things we absolutely would do, and we're frustrated, or angry, or exasperated, or just out of our mind, wanting him to figure out why he's wrong. And then men typically look at women as smaller, emotionally indulgent versions of themselves. And so both of these people over here, men and women, aren't able to communicate clearly. 90% of relationship challenges stem from misunderstandings about the opposite sex. Designing sexy communication is all about learning about the opposite sex so that you can navigate that experience. So I've got 3 points that I want to give you. And the first is, choose to be curious instead of furious. Choose to be curious about that person in front of you. And I can say it's men and women, but the truth is that it's everyone on the planet that we need to be curious about. So that's point number 1. Point number 2 is choose to learn about the people around you. Choose to understand about masculine and feminine dynamics so that you can create partnership. And number 3 is create a new beginning by learning to navigate that experience with the opposite sex, learning to create that partnership that you really desire. Because we're so different, actually, men and women are so different that we'd be better off if we actually spoke different languages, because then we wouldn't think we were communicating. So I invite you to take the next step. I invite you to get curious. I invite you to notice any time that you're upset and say, oh, okay, I'm going to pause and learn about the other person, understand where they're coming from. And then I'm going to choose to learn about men and women, myself and the people around me. And then I'm going to learn to navigate those. I'm curious, what is your next step?